Hello, I'm your host and executive abundance coach, Sean Q, and welcome to the School of Abundance. Have you ever left a coaching call feeling rushed, anxious, or even worried you didn't provide enough value? Or maybe you've even had a high achieving client where they felt like they needed to add so many more tasks to their to-dos, but you know that what they really need is just stillness. Well, in today's episode, I'm interviewing Jamie J, a coach who calls herself a way shower and guide, who will be uncovering for us the ancient art of presence, as well as how to craft spaces for your clients where they can be truly seen and heard. But before we do that, we're going to be exploring the law of identity and how you can leverage this power to create lasting breakthroughs in your next coaching call. A special thank you to our sponsor for today's episode, the One Client Away Challenge. Now, the One Client Away Challenge is designed to help you fill your group coaching calls easy and naturally, without all the sleaze and ick of sales. If you are interested in this free sales training, it's 5 days. All you have to do is go to clientchallenge.com and you'll be able to get signed up for free. Now let's go ahead and do a quick check-in. If you're live with us, go to Put #Team Live. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you're on the rerun, go to Put #Team Rerun. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. And let's do a quick check-in. Let's take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. One more time. Let's take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. How are you feeling? I know today I'm feeling really excited because I think we're going to have a really great interview with Jay. And I'm feeling really grateful. Last night, me and my family, we were playing a game called We're Not Really Strangers. It's this card game where there are questions and everybody gets to ask these questions and then everyone has to answer it. And there are 3 rounds, and each round of this game, we get deeper and deeper questions that we get to ask. So we pull a card and it starts off kind of shallow. You know, what do you think my favorite movie is? Or why do you think I do the work that I do? And then it gets deeper and deeper. So one of the questions was, what part of yourself do you see in me? Or what have you learned from some of our interactions together? And it was really cool as I was asking this question to hear my family tell me, you know, Sean, what I see in you is leadership, is initiative. What I see in you is kindness, is love and inclusive love. So it's a love that lasts to and is spread to everyone around you. And I remember having this conversation at the end of the night with my wife about the answers that we were given and the answers we were receiving. And we really began to identify something called the law of identity. If you're taking notes, go ahead and write that down in the chat. Law of identity. The law of identity is essentially, let me break it down this way. Have you ever heard of the law of attraction? There are some different types of definitions when it comes to the law of attraction. I get this question asked a lot. Sean, do you believe in the law of attraction? You believe in abundance? You help people live in abundance? Do you leverage or use the law of attraction to create abundance? I want to kind of break down what this means, because this is essentially my answer when I get asked that. You know, Sean, do you believe in the law of attraction? I always ask, well, what do you mean? Because there's so many different definitions. How I define law of attraction is really through the law of identity. And we know this from a psychological perspective. If you know who Brené Brown is, she has identified a couple of different truths. Number one, that we are feeling creatures who occasionally think, not thinking creatures who occasionally feel. And our feelings oftentimes shape our identity, and our identity oftentimes shape our feelings. They're a collaborative part of who we are. Let me give you an example. If you believe you're a winner, that you're an achiever, that you're an extraordinary coach, well, what's going to happen is you will begin to enter spaces and look at the world through that lens. Now, if instead you believed you were a cheater or a thief, well, guess what? You would enter spaces looking through that lens. You would find things or opportunities to steal or cheat. Or if you're the winner, you'd find opportunities to win, to achieve. And so the law of attraction and the law of identity, to me and to many of our clients, is a matter of shifting who you believe you are. Because when you shift who you believe you are, the opportunity in front of you begins to shift. The abundance that you have access to begins to shift. If you begin to shift your identity, you will then begin to not just attract, but find and identify different opportunities. Me and my family, actually, at the end of today's episode, later today, we're going to be doing a 2023, an annual planning session. And most people, when they do their annual planning sessions, they create a lot of to-do lists. They create, okay, I want to do this in January, I want to do that, I want to travel here, I want to do this, I want to do that. And what we start off with is, instead of a to-do list, we start off with a to-be list and a to-feel list. Who do you want to be when you show up in the world next year? How do you want to feel when you show up in the world next year? Because the truth is, who you are will directly impact what you do. How you feel will directly impact what you do. So instead of starting with a to-do list, leverage the power of identity and ask yourself, who do I want to be next year? Because the behavior will follow the identity. Catch that. Put that in the chat. That was super key. Take notes. Your behavior will follow your identity. That's what the law of attraction is. The behaviors, the opportunities that you attract in your life are directly related to how you identify in your life. When you're working with your clients and they find themselves taking action or behaving in certain ways that are unwanted, they don't want to take this action, they don't want to be doing this, and they're working with you to help them resolve this problem. Or maybe they're not doing something. They want to be doing something, but for some reason there's resistance, or there's a wall, or there's a blockage. I want you to begin to ask them questions. And what if we stopped focusing on what you're doing, and what if instead we explored who you believe you are? What other people have told you about yourself? The things you have grabbed onto and held onto based off what other people have told you about yourself. So often, society, family, culture tells us who we are, and we just accept it. What if you took your clients and you said, hey, let's take all the to-dos off our table. Let's not even focus on your behaviors or your actions or the things you have to get done. And instead, let's focus on who you are today and who you are tomorrow. Imagine the breakthroughs and insights that would be created in your clients' lives.